Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Neil Bone Fishing. And I want to take this moment to just thank you guys. Thank you for the new subscribers and stuff. You guys are awesome. Not even one negative comment on a video. That's just amazing. The YouTube fishing community is such an awesome community. And I just want to thank you guys. And, hopefully we could all grow together. I would like to do some giveaways and stuff like that to give back, And, yeah, I just really appreciate you guys watching, stopping by the channel. And if you like, subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about the stick bait. The different ways you could rig a stick bait. This is a very good versatile bait, and everybody should have these in their backpack, in their fishing bags. This is the bait you want to be beating the banks with and have on your boat. Whatever it is that you like to fish, this is a really good bait to have. Now, I'm going to go over the different ways that you can rig the stick bait. It's pretty amazing. There's a lot of ways, and I'm sure there's even more that I'm not even going to mention. But I'm going to just show you the ways that I like to fish it and some ways that I have fished it. Alright, starting out with the first way. My favorite way. Most of the time, I just fish it weightless on an EWG or a round bend hook. I find this way to be very effective. When you cast out, the bait's going to have a nice side-to-side shimmy. And it's going to fall through the different water columns. And you could also give your rod a couple twitch and fish it like a fluke. It's a really good bait. And if you want to fish it down deeper, you could add a bullet weight to it. It's got a little stuck in this little peg, but you could add a bullet weight to it. And be able to fish it down deeper and bang it off the rocks and make a little bit more noise and disturbance under the water with the bullet weight. So that's a really good way to do it as well. You could also peg the bait. The only time I peg the bait is if I'm fishing around a lot of stuff where my bait could get tangled. A lot of timber, branches, and just junk on the bottom. A lot of underwater structure. I'm going to peg it. Now, one thing with the peg, though, is you do give the fish more momentum to throw the bait out of their mouth because it's much heavier. So they get their swing on and they just throw the bait out. What you can do is you can just space out your little peg, pull it up just a little bit to where it can't go too far. But when you catch a fish, it's harder for him to throw it. So that's some ways right there you can fish the stick bait. Really cool. Another way you could fish it is just on a belly weighted hook. I don't fish it too often like this, but this is a good way to, fish it around the bottom. And it's going to have a nice, it's going to fall nice and vertical. And it's just a good way to do it. It's very weedless. You can fish this through the grass and stuff. And that's a good way. If you have like a speed worm, this could be a really good weight, a good hook for a speed worm. So that's another way. Now the Wacky rig. Wacky rig is always a good way. It's a popular way. You can fish it on very light gear, spinning setups and everything on light line. The Wacky rig is an awesome way to fish it, and it's going to fall, and it's going to have a flutter, like a nice flutter down, and you just let it hit the bottom, hop it up, it's going to rinse and repeat, hop it up, rinse and repeat. Good effective way, it catches a lot of fish. Our next way going to be a Carolina rig. Carolina rig, you want to have a swivel, a little bead, and a weight. And you hear the clacking? This is going to create noise. They're going to hear this clacking. It's going to keep the bait up as the weight's down. It's going to give it some free motion. And it's going to make a nice disturbance under the water. It's definitely going to get the fish's attention. And the Carolina rig, not many people are using it. It's a really good setup. It takes a little bit more work to tie up, but it's really worth it. Our next way is an eco. You have a nail weight. I like the nail weights that have the head because it makes noise as it ticks off the rocks on the bottom. You're going to have your rubber band or O-ring. A nice weedless Senko hook. And as this bait hits the bottom, it's going to make a good noise. And it's something different looking that, you know, the fish don't see too often. And it's a very great way to fish it. And it works. It catches fish. And I think you should try it. So that's the Senko. Next way is a swing head. You could just swing this around on the bottom, cast it out there, work it fast, work it slow. But the little swing head ball is going to really give it a different action. It's going to be a little bit more unpredictable in the water. It's going to move around a lot more, hitting the rocks, creating different side-to-side motions. But it's a really good way, and it gets down deep, and it's awesome. I've caught fish on a swing head. Next, when your baits get beat up, you could always cut them down and continue to use them. Get a little extra life out of them. You can use them as a drop shot. Nice and perfect. Different. You can fish the full length of it. You just need a bigger hook like an EWG if you're going to do like power drop shot fishing. But the drop shot. And you could even wacky rig the stick bait on the drop shot too. But this is a good way to continue to use your baits when they get beat up. Just cut them down and continue to use them. Next, you could cut them down again and use them as a Ned bait. Right there. This is a Weedless EWG Ned hook. And it's a beauty. Another way that you don't see this often. You may have seen it before, you may have not seen it before. But this is another way you could do it. You got your open hook, but I take a knife and I cut these ends here and I make their own little ticklers. And this is going to look really good on the bottom. It almost looks like a little finesse tube, like a little mini tube. So, you know, you don't have to, when your plastic rips, you don't have to throw them away. You can always use them and do more stuff with them. But I like to fish this little Ned bait. And that's pretty much the ways I fish them. So as you see, these are all different. I got a whole handful of different ways you could fish this bait. And this isn't probably even all of them. Well, anyway, I just wanted to share that. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, or if you have a rig that I didn't mention that you think is worth knowing, let me know in the comments. And anyway, until next time, thanks for watching, and you have a good day.